What if Earth had rings like Saturn? So, what if Earth had rings, like big, beautiful Saturn-style rings? You know the ones, glowing, swirling bands of icy particles stretching across the sky. Romantic, majestic, a stunning planetary flex. But let's say they just appear one day. No explanation. Boom. Rings. Don't ask how. Ask what happens next. Well, first, it would look insane. If you live near the equator, congrats, you've won the ring view lottery. You'd look up and see enormous arcs stretching across the sky like glowing hula hoops from the gods. People would cancel Netflix subscriptions just to stare out the window. If you're further north or south, though, sorry Canada, your skies are still mostly just sky, because the rings are aligned with the planet's equator. Visibility depends on your latitude. The closer you are to the equator, the more dramatic and centered they look. The further you go, the more the rings tilt away, eventually disappearing over the horizon. Flat earthers would have a field day. But how big are these rings exactly? Let's go full Saturn. Saturn's rings stretch out to about 282,000 kilometers from its center. Earth's rings would be smaller because Earth's gravity isn't as strong. But let's say they're still enormous, like tens of thousands of kilometers wide. Made of ice and rock and cosmic glitter. Also, they're deadly, absolutely beautiful, and absolutely dangerous. Imagine looking up and seeing a rainbow of destruction gently orbiting the planet at hypersonic speed. Each tiny particle in the rings is moving at about 10 kilometers per second. That's fast enough to turn a grain of sand into a bullet. And we haven't even gotten to the part where stuff starts falling. Because the rings aren't perfectly stable. Bits break off, micrometeorites crash through them. Over time, the edges of the rings start raining icy death onto the atmosphere. It's like a slow-motion blender in space, gorgeous but unpredictable. If you're an astronaut, good luck surviving a trip through them. SpaceX would need serious windshield wipers. Now let's talk climate. The rings don't just look pretty, they throw shade. Literally. Depending on the angle of the sun and the season, the rings would cast massive shadows across the planet. Imagine a total solar eclipse, but like every morning between 6 and 8 a.m. if you live in Nairobi. Some areas might get less sunlight for weeks at a time. That means cooler temperatures, changes in weather patterns, and probably a few grumpy beachgoers. And don't even get me started on the photographers. Instagram would collapse under the weight of ring selfies. But let's go deeper. How would the rings affect Earth's history? Well, for starters, ancient civilizations would worship the rings like gods. You think the pyramids are impressive now. Picture entire cultures built around the movements of glowing bands in the sky. Every ritual, every myth, every calendar, shaped by cosmic